Nicole Kidman's father died of a heart attack inside a Singapore hotel restaurant shortly after completing his morning exercise, according to reports. The Sydney psychologist is believed to have collapsed when he was inside the Wheelhouse restaurant at the Tanglin Club, a private hotel he had been staying at while visiting his daughter Antonia and 6 grandchildren during their school holidays. A doctor and guests at the hotel who were present tried to resuscitate him before paramedics arrived and he was taken to hospital, the Straits Times reported. Police confirmed that he died at Tan Tock Seng Hospital about 10 a.m. and were now investigating the exact cause of death. A friend of the family earlier confirmed that Dr. Kidman, 75, had suffered a fall but did not know any other details. Nicole's publicist and longtime friend of the Kidmans, Wendy told Daily Mail Australia that the family is in shock and is grieving and is yet to make any statement regarding the well-respected Sydney psychologist's death. Dr. Kidman was visiting his daughter, Antonia, and his grandchildren who live in Singapore and suffered the fall after eating breakfast. The family is in shock and is grieving. I think that some time and privacy is needed to deal with this shock and tragedy, she said. She confirmed that Dr. Kidman suffered a fall in a hotel room in Singapore, but that was all the information she had to hand. A similar statement was released by Nicole Kidman's publicist in the US. Lely Dart said, Nicole and her family are in shock by the sudden death of her father. She appreciates the outpouring of support and kindly requests privacy during this very difficult time. Thank you. A hospital source was reeling from the shock of the news. We don't know how to deal with this at the moment or how to digest the fact he's gone, the source told News Corp Australia. Dr. Kidman was a clinical psychologist at Royal North Shore Hospital and a director of health psychology at the University of Technology Sydney. He was in Singapore spending time with his youngest daughter, Antonia, who lives in Singapore with husband Craig Maran, the managing director of Credit Capital Markets Global Banking. UTS Vice-Chancellor Professor Attila Brung said in a statement that Dr. Kidman contributed a lot as a colleague and a researcher during his 43 years of service. It is with great sadness that we learn of Dr. Tony Kidman's sudden passing. During his 43 years at the University of Technology, Sydney, Tony has contributed greatly, as a colleague, as a researcher, and as a health practitioner, he said in a statement. Tony will be missed by all at UTS. Our thoughts are with his family at this time. A spokesperson for the university said the academic community was deeply saddened at the news of his death. He was much loved by staff and students alike and will be deeply missed, the Daily Telegraph reported. The Royal North Shore Hospital was not immediately commenting on Dr. Kidman's death, while a woman at the Kidmans' home declined to comment when approached by Daily Mail Australia. She said she didn't feel comfortable saying anything to the media yet. A Sydney business owner known to the family said, "The Kidman family are regular customers for our shop. With respects to the family, we are not really comfortable with commenting on what has happened to Antony." A police spokesperson told Reuters they were investigating the death as unnatural. He declined to give details, but the term unnatural death in Singapore often refers to falls or other accidents. Network 10 reported earlier that Dr. Kidman was visiting Nicole's younger sister Antonia, who lives in Singapore with her husband Craig Maran and her 6 children. As well as his work as a clinical psychologist, he has done research into the psychosocial impact of diseases, including breast cancer. He also ran community service seminars on aspects of mental health, was a regular speaker on radio and television, and wrote for academic journals and the general public. He was awarded an Order of Australia in 2005 for his contributions to clinical psychology. The family was last seen together in Sydney back in January for Dr. Kidman and his wife, Janelle's 50th wedding anniversary. In June this year, a beaming Nicole Kidman, 46, walked the red carpet with her father and husband Keith Urban at the Swiss Celebrate Life Ball in Melbourne. In one of his last public statements, Dr. Kidman wrote of the pointless pursuit of happiness. In the article titled "Forget Happiness, Search for Meaning," Dr. Kidman wrote about the importance of striving for achievable goals in life, with a focus on being contented with what you have rather than on a life of material wealth. Nicole Kidman was born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1967, while her parents were studying abroad. The family moved to Sydney's North Shore when the actress was 4. Nicole Kidman has previously been quoted describing her father as a great man that she could rely on at any time of the day. "He's a great father, I can call him at 3 in the morning and he's there for me," she said. "By the time I was a teenager, I had developed skills as a writer, and my father encouraged me to think about a career in journalism. I began keeping a diary, which I maintain to this day. I used to fill whole notebooks with my writings. My parents thought it was nice to develop my imagination, but they never seriously thought that anything would ever come of it." She said her family once told her that she couldn't become an actress because of her height. "They said that I couldn't be an actress because I would be taller than all my leading men, so I thought I would be a writer instead." But despite this, she said her parents have always been supportive of her career in acting. "They allowed me any artistic outlet I wanted. Each weekend I'd go to the theater at Phillip Street. I used to just lock myself in there for the whole weekend. I thought it was fantastic. I'd be teased a lot though, because I'd be going off to the theater instead of going to the beach with the boys and all the girls. I felt like an outsider because of that.